for Social Entrepreneurs is a British Council global project enabling positive social change through innovative and effective business models which tackle social issues and contribute to sustainable development. The program provides international learning and networking opportunities and aims to create partnerships across public and private sectors and civil society organizations. In addition, the British Council provides the knowledge, skills, and thereby develop new thinking in young people in order to build a well-rounded global project of social entrepreneurship model. Sharing Vietnam Today portrays the assessments of British Council towards the power of young people in developing social enterprise in Vietnam in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NetViet. Today our guest speaker is the Director of British Council in Vietnam, Mr. Jan Robinson, and he's here to talk with us more about the impacts of youth in the social enterprise models in Vietnam. Now let's welcome him. Thank you, Jan, so much for having us here today. So first of all, can you share with us what is the concept of social enterprise?
Well, the main difference between a social enterprise and a normal enterprise is a social enterprise has a social mission. It's set up with the aim of helping society in some way. So usually there's a vulnerable group that they will want to help, or some section of society. They won't have stakeholders. They will be open to collaboration. And it's not necessarily sector specific, so it's quite a different idea of doing business. They're not sharing profits with anyone. They're putting the profits that they do make through the business back into the business for the benefit of society.
Can you name some of the projects of British Councils in gaining awareness and supporting social enterprises in Vietnam?
Yeah, around the world, British Council works in social enterprise with a lot of organisations, charities, governments, intermediary organisations. And what we aim to do is act as a conduit or a facilitator to engage with countries and to share the experience that the UK has in social enterprise. The UK is a real leader in social enterprise at the minute. About 15% of business in the UK is from social enterprises. There are more than 180,000 of them, and that equates to £55 billion of turnover each year. So it's quite a significant sector in the UK. What British Council wants to do is show that experience and link that experience with countries where we work, and allow the countries and the UK to discuss social enterprise. In Vietnam, we work with VCCI, CSIP, the Centre for Social Innovation Promotion, and Spark, and support them to develop the sector here through bringing experts, through other means of funding, and supporting them to develop individual social enterprises in Vietnam.
So what is the impact of a social responsibility in development of a companies that differ from companies that only interest in their net income, in their profits?
I think there's a big move from purely financially based business to what we'd call a triple bottom line, which is including environment and social costs in a business. We're very keen to encourage that business within a country supports the development of the society within the country. I think there's a growing awareness in the public, particularly in Europe, but also globally, that they want to see businesses that benefit the community. So all businesses they have a bottom line, they need to be profitable, they need to cover their costs. But more and more people are looking at businesses to say, okay, you're covering your costs, you're making a profit, but what is it, what's there for the community? And I think that the social return from business is going to be more and more important in the future for consumers. Consumers have a lot of power. They put their money in the places that they want to put their money. There is a growing awareness that consumers will put their money where they see that social return, not necessarily just for themselves, but also for the wider community or the environment.
Vietnam Youth to Business 2014 held recently with the participation of 500 excellent and dynamic students from Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, and Da Nang to meet and dialogue with representatives of 50 large enterprises, namely PepsiCo, Techcombank, PwC, Microsoft, Panasonic. This event is organized by British Council and the Vietnam's Chamber of Commerce and Industry (VCCI) and ISEC. The two main topics to be discussed are the spirit of social entrepreneurship and innovation in the enterprise.
Trước khi đến với chương trình thì mình có cái sự hiểu biết rất là mơ hồ về khái niệm doanh nghiệp xã hội. Tuy nhiên sau khi được nghe các đại diện từ các công ty lớn, các diễn giả giải thích thì mình đã cảm nhận được cái tầm quan trọng của giới trẻ đối với sự tương lai của doanh nghiệp xã hội Việt Nam. Mình tin là sau cái buổi hội thảo hôm nay thì rất nhiều các bạn trẻ đã hiểu rất rõ về khái niệm doanh nghiệp xã hội, và tương lai khi các bạn ra đời, các bạn làm việc, các bạn có doanh nghiệp riêng chẳng hạn thì các bạn sẽ biết cách để áp dụng cái khái niệm này đến thực tế và sẽ đóng góp rất nhiều cho xã hội và cho giới doanh nghiệp Việt Nam.
Through this event, students can equip themselves with the personal development plan and thus building a career in the future. On the enterprise side, it is also an opportunity to reach out to young people to understand the trends as well as the thoughts of young people, which can help to guide the youth in the selection of appropriate direction for themselves. Throughout your time working with Vietnamese enterprises and supporting them in social responsibility concept, how do you assess on their ability to carry out such project and carry out concept into the reality, into their practices?
I think it's early days in Vietnam. There are good examples that within Vietnam that we can see in good models. But there's still a long way to go. It's developing very quickly, and organisations like CSIP and Spark are really pushing that forward and supporting the development of social enterprise here. So it's a very positive environment, but the sector is still very small. So I expect over the next 5 to 10 years that will change a lot as the social entrepreneurs who are just developing and bringing ideas and business models to the table now, develop those models and expand them as more financing and things come in to support them.
In which aspects of an organization that the youth can interfere their interests and their knowledge of social enterprises that you can share with us?
Well, we've heard from Microsoft, Pepsi and Unilever this morning at this forum, and each of them are aware of the need to engage with the societies in which they work much more than they have been in the past. I think the youth today need to be aware that as we go forward through 2010 to 20, this awareness of the social responsibility of business will be growing, and businesses will be including that in their planning, in their development of their models. So rather than thinking just about I'm going to be a businessman and I'll make profits for the company, they have to have a much wider view about I'll work in a company that actually gives back to society, and actually should I work in a social enterprise rather than a mainstream business, or should I expect all mainstream businesses to becoming more like social enterprises over the next 20 to 30 years? I think there will be a big change. 30, 40 years ago, there wasn't much corporate social responsibility, CSR. That really became mainstream, and now we're moving from that much more into the social enterprise area, and businesses really taking an interest in that.
From this event today, how do you see the level of interest of the youth in Vietnam in social responsibility and social issues, as well as having the knowledge about the social enterprises?
Well, we have 400 or 500 young leaders of the future here today. What they're hearing from business and from other organisations like British Council will obviously influence how they think about their careers in the future and what they want to do and how they want to act within school, within university, within their local communities or nationally, regionally. So what I hope is that the discussions we have today do influence them in a very positive manner to thinking much more about the effect they can have on society and how they can support the development of Vietnam in the future in a much more sustainable manner. But the youth I met this morning, they're very enthusiastic, they're very bright, intelligent, dynamic. I don't see any problems with them finding out more information and being very dynamic and making change or helping communities in the future. I think it's very positive.
For example, that you have come to many forums like this before. Through what means can the youth gain their power and their knowledge in social enterprise concept?
I think Vietnam can look. Obviously, Vietnam has social issues, as do many other countries. What the Vietnamese youth can do by engaging either with British Council or with the other organisations in Vietnam is see the models that are being used widely around the world. There are a number of examples of youth working in health with elderly people, in the environment, in the arts, to support the development of society. So there's thousands of models that they can engage with. I think the important thing is to give them the enthusiasm and the motivation to go looking and to find those models and to engage with the organisations that are working in Vietnam right now.
Thank you, Yen, so much for having us here today. And that's the end of Sharing Vietnam today. Thank you so much for watching us, and I hope that you can gain some insights about the interest, the level of interest and the level of power that the youth in Vietnam nowadays can have on social enterprises. Any questions and concerns, please email at sharingvietnam@vtc.vn. And for the last minute, please be back for the event today. Thank you and see you again.